that anybody really heard or paid any attention to. And then I joined this band in LA called The Scream. And woo! Thank you. That would be the 2 records we sold here in Kraków. Thank you.
There was Angora before that, right?
Ah, yes, my friend Angora. And I'm surprised you know that. Anyway, so I had the very, very good pleasure. I don't know if we have any music fans here, like real deep music fans, but I had the very, very good fortune to work with this legendary producer on my first record, a gentleman named Eddie Kramer.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Eddie Kramer pretty much recorded just about every note of music that Jimi Hendrix ever recorded. He did 3 or 4 Zeppelin records. He did The Live Song Remains the Same. He worked with the Beatles, the Stones. He did all the Kiss Alive stuff, Frampton Comes Alive. He did some Humble Pie. So when we found out that we were working with this guy, obviously we were like freaking out. So we start recording a record, and I learned a lot from watching Eddie and how he worked. And one of the things that he said to me was, okay, you're going to start, we've laid down the bed tracks for all of the songs. You're going to start singing soon, and nothing is in stone until you've sung it. So what he wanted me to do was go home and just really, really look at all of my lyrics, make sure they were perfect. He wanted me to make sure that all of the melodies were perfect. So I went home, and I'm sitting on my couch with my guitar, and my son is running around. He was very little at the time. He was maybe 4 years old. And now, I gotta tell you, as a little side note, my son was 4 then. Now my son is 31, and he plays drums in my solo band for me. How awesome is that, right? So, and hopefully later in the year, I will be bringing my solo band over here to Europe so that all of you guys can meet my son firsthand. But anyway, so he's running around, and I'm watching the TV was on, and I'm working on my lyrics on this stuff that we used to use when I was a kid called paper and pen. Not anymore. It's all like iPad, phone, computer. But anyway, so I'm sitting there, I'm working on my stuff. And this commercial comes on the TV, and for a second it caught my eye, and I just watched this commercial, and in America it was called a public service announcement. So you see this guy, and it's a black and white commercial, and he's looking down, and it makes you think that he's talking to his son, and he's saying things like, I wish you would have told me, I didn't know. I told you you could talk to me about anything. And as he's talking, the camera's coming out. It gets right to the very end of the commercial, and you realize that he's talking to his son's gravestone. And then it goes black, and it says, teach your children about drugs. Which I always try and tell myself what ones to buy and what ones to stay away from. Whatever. Yes, laugh, my friend. You wait till you meet my son. Anyway, so I had this moment where I was like, shit, like I don't know what I would do if I was in that man's position. If something happened to my children or one of my kids, my son, I would freak out. And then it was weird, like, so suddenly I just started thinking of these lyrics. So I grabbed my guitar. And it's weird. I have some songs that I'm still working on for like 10 years. I've just never finished them. To me, they're not right yet. And then there's other songs that just fall from the sky and they just land on you, and you're able to write them in minutes. And this was one of those songs. So I wrote this song. I sat down. I wrote the chords, and I had the melody, and I wrote all the lyrics. And I took it to the studio the next day, and the band said, we hate it, it sucks. But Eddie Kramer heard it, And he said, no, hold on a minute. There's a good song here. I think we should record this on the record. So thanks to Eddie Kramer. It was on the Scream album. I'm going to play it for you now. It's called Father, Mother, Son.